Hello, this is Jess. Good to see you. This is chat session number 80. It's January 19th, 2018, Friday. It went down to around 30 degrees overnight. I worked overnight. It's about 8:15 in the morning, and I'm getting ready to be going to sleep here in a little bit. Get this chat session going. We're going to do our tidbits of history. We're going to start with 1809. The poet, author, and literary critic Edgar Allan Poe was born in Boston, Massachusetts. By age 3, both of his parents had died. His godfather, John Allan, was given custody. There was a lot of conflict between the two over the years. Poe was a drinker, a partier. He gambled, created a big debt, and eventually they had a big fallout. And he really started drinking and stuff, carrying on, so they sort of parted ways. He married in 1836, and his wife died of tuberculosis in 1847. With his wife passing away, he really went on a binge and drinking and carrying on. And after 2 years, he came back to Richmond and got engaged in 1849. But before the wedding, he died suddenly. They say that he went out on a real hard binge or whatever, and anyway, they found him in a gutter on the side of the street and took him to the hospital, and I guess he passed away in October of 1849. But he wrote a lot of stories. He's well known. The Raven, I guess, was his favorite, his most known story, but he also Murder in the Rue Morgue and a lot of different stuff like that. And he may have been the creator of the modern detective stories in some of the stories that he wrote. All right, we're going to go right on to the next tidbit of history. 1974, Notre Dame men's basketball team defeats the University of California at LA, or UCLA, 71-70. In South Bend, Indiana, snapping UCLA's record-setting 88-game winning streak. It was the second big Irish upset that season, coming just 3 weeks after Notre Dame's football team beat Alabama in a thrilling Sugar Bowl to gain the #1 spot in the nation. So, I guess that's the record that I guess still holds 88 games without losing. And they were defeated by Notre Dame, and interesting stuff. That's all the sports stuff we got there. That's the tidbits of history. 1974 and 1809. I was going to be doing a story organizer kind of thing, a couple sentences, and sort of write a book as I go in these journeys, but I'm going to have to back out of that at this time. I'm just not quite ready. That's a little bit more work, and I'm going to cease on that. I may start that back up here in a later chat session, hopefully, down the road, but we're going to just not do that at this point. Talking about this being Friday, tonight at midnight, our government could shut down. I'm not really sure what that means, and of course, the longer it's down, I guess the more effects will be felt. It won't be the first government shutdown. It's happened in the past, and there were some things here and there, but overall, most people probably didn't notice it. But this one could be different. We'll see. I don't understand as a people why we tolerate all this nonsense and gridlock. that ultimately could affect every one of us if it gets out of hand. A lot of things could take place, but it doesn't have to be so complicated. I say if it shuts down, we just go right in and just reestablish a new government with simple literary language being used so that they can't lie about what the bills mean by all the mumbo jumbo that if you try to read it, you got to have somebody explain what you're reading, because it's idiotic. And I think it's just a unnecessary waste of time to have all this crap written in these certain ways, so that when you try to, the normal person just getting it and trying to pick it up and read it would be lost after the first 3 or 4 sentences, because of the jargon that they use, when they should just write down what they want, what they're trying to say, and get rid of all the other junk that's included in these sentences. That it's just we don't live in that time anymore, and I think that as citizens, we should be able to look at these bills and understand them, so that we can know what's going on, instead of listening to these people from one side or the other standing up and saying what's their take on it. And most of them haven't even read the bills. They're told by their aides what the highlight points are, and it's just a 1,000-page documents and all that. Man, nothing. One page should be enough to cover whatever you want to do, and I think you should do it one bill at a time, like that. Say, here's the bill, and there's nothing else going to be attached to it. You can't get any favors out of it. We're not going to negotiate, and here's the bill. Do you want to pass it or not? Send it through. If it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All this other deceit, makes it's just ridiculous. And again, my opinion. A lot of people think, oh, they totally get it, they understand, but I don't understand it. Why everything has to be so complicated when most people are simple when it comes to saying what they want to do. They write it down, and you can understand what it is they got on the paper or whatever, and you go from there. But when you get into politics, all of a sudden, why does everything have to change and be so complicated? And when you try to get something passed that's good for the country, you want to attach all this junk in the negotiations, or you're not going to vote for it. You put in all these bills that have nothing to do with the bill itself, but it's the only way it's going to get passed, so you sneak it in under another bill, and that should be illegal. That should be considered unethical. That should be something that we shouldn't allow as a people of this country, for them to use things that they want for themselves, for their constituents, whatever. When we're looking at the country as a whole, we should be, government should run the country as a whole, and all these things that they do, and it's just frustrating, I guess. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I love living here in this country, so it's not all bad, but the government is just making it bad, I think, as time rolls forward, unless we somehow get a grasp of it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. What else? What you can beat a dead horse till it becomes alive. I don't know. Maybe nothing will change. Maybe everything can change. Can't have it both ways. I would hope for the change. I think it's just time to bring it all down to make sense, common sense, and welfare of the government. Should be towards the people. We should run the government. The government shouldn't run us. That's just my opinion. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? I'm tired. I actually put in a full 12-hour shift and got a lot of work done. I guess my first really full on the saw for 12 hours, overnight. My leg's a little swollen today right now. My knee's a little sore, but I went through it, so I guess I'm going to continue to push forward on that and go and do it again tonight. All right. Have a great Friday morning. Bye.